What's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. My name is Jeff Bailey, and we've got another modern take on a traditional folder design from Mike Latham at Collector Knives. This is the Viper Cutlery Easy Open knife out from Collector Knives. This is made by a company in Maniago, Italy. Looking up a little bit on their website, I think actually the parent company is called Technocut. It looks like founded in 1987, and you know, if you go to these guys' websites, Google them or whatever, I'll put a link in the description. Like their knives and a lot of their photos on their website are pretty high-end stuff. I see like machined titanium and carbon fiber and stuff like that. This is a very modern company, but Mike has done something really cool again, where he's taken the classic design, which of course is this teardrop easy open spear knife, and with the help of a Italian manufacturer, just like Lion Steel for his round heads that he's got, they've made this knife in this sort of classic fashion with very modern materials. And I was pretty excited to see about this because I really love the round heads. I know they rubbed some of the traditional guys wrong, but you know, I don't know. I can't help it. I still really like these. Marriage of the old and new. Doesn't mean that I can't still like the old, but this is pretty nice. This one is in a walnut burl. It's very smooth texture, and it's you know, maybe stabilized, but it's got kind of a matte finish on it. You see it's got a little bit of reflection there, but it's not glossy. And just the burl just looks great as a one-piece slab shadow design, as they call it. There's no bolsters here. We just have the ornate machined pivot screws, and these are your typical little hex screws here, and a lanyard hole. That's not something you would typically see on a classic knife like that, unless you're talking about some kind of scout, in which case you'd probably have a bail anyway. But talk about a head turner. So you got this open pattern here, no back spring here. I wish I knew more about the construction. I mean, obviously we have the pivots here, not pivots, I'm sorry, the spacers, and we have a rod going through down here, which is the travel stop as the knife comes to close. It does have a half stop, very easy open pull. There's some resistance here, but it's excuse me, it's firm, but it's not coarse, if that makes any sense. It's very smooth pull with some resistance, and then it just boop pops right into that spot for the half stop. It's just a rounded back of the knife. I was trying to get so you can see how that half stop actually works in place there, but it's not immediately clear what's happening there, unless it's somewhere on that side. But anyway, try to keep this where we can focus. Pops nicely to the half stop, and again, firm resistance but smooth action, and gently just pops right there to where that, you know, the back of the blade just is beveled perfectly and just sits just right on there. But like, there's some detent to it, you know. Like I have to give pretty, you know, just straightforward pressure before I can get it to break. Let's take a closer look here. Not to say that I want bigger writing on my knives, but one sort of feedback I'd have for them. I can see CK Edition, I can see Viper, I can see M390. Of course, that's another modern component. This is an M390 sort of satin blade here. But as far as what it says under Viper, I mean, I have a macro setting on this camera, but I think our minimum focal distance is going to keep us from getting any closer. That is hard to read, and in person it doesn't really get any easier. I believe it says made in Maniago, Italy, but I mean, if they're gonna put it on there, make it legible. Otherwise, just don't put it on there, in my opinion, because it's just kind of clutters up the knife. You know, it's like it's a laser engraving, but cause you can feel it, like in bias or whatever. But it's so small that like you can't read it, unless you happen to know what it says, and then sort of your brain can fill in the empty spots where it's missing. The liners on this I did want to check before I said, so they are stainless, but just like the round head, everything's biased very nicely. It's going to be kind of hard to see, but you know, the spacers in the middle are biased very smoothly. The liners themselves are biased around the edges. The blade is biased around the top there, you can see, so it's round and perfectly centered. Mine does have like a little bit of play where, like, depending on how you close it, you might end up sitting more to one side than the other, but nothing crazy, like I really have to wiggle it. But in general, it closes on its own more or less towards the middle. And because it didn't have a back spring, of course, there is no like snap close. There's, you know, when it gets close enough to where the notch in the blade can hit that pin, it goes close, but it doesn't like snap close like the round head or any of the other springs or any of the other knives that actually have a back spring. Really cool, unique find here. And going for what it's going for, I think is extremely fair asking price. This is one of those that you don't have to be afraid of making it a user and worrying about, you know, corrosion or things like that, like some of the other traditionals. Should last a good long time. Really just a great blend of old and new. So once again, check out collectorknives.net. I'll put a link in the description. They still have some of these. I don't believe they have any of the walnut burl, but they've got some other options if you want more classic. They've got a Bacote wood. They've got a natural canvas micarta, and I believe they also have some more modern stuff like carbon fiber. So check it out. Follow Mike Latham on his channels if you're interested in learning more about these right when they come out. I'd advise you looking into their early reserve system as well. Anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you don't mind sticking around a little bit, I did want to point out that in the time where I've been in between doing videos here, because it was kind of a while from my last video, there was a change to the YouTube's pricing structure where they are not paying people basically who make videos unless you have at least 1,000 subscribers. So as of recording this video, I've got like 725, which is amazing since I've dropped the ball and not been producing content for you guys for so long. And I want to make it very clear that I've not really made money doing this. I got, you know, just a little bit, but it's a fun thing. It's a fun little bonus that comes in every once in a while, a couple times a year. Maybe you could get a teeny bit of money in the mail from Google, and that was kind of cool. But that all stopped as of, yeah, I don't know, earlier this year sometime. That's just not their model anymore. So if you guys could really spread the word, help me get up to that 1,000 subscribers so I could get back on the wagon there. From what their argument is, if they don't have to pay all the small channels, they can pay ones with 1,000 or more. So that'd be kind of cool. It would mean more knives, more videos, more often, so it works out for all of us. So anyway, thank you for watching and hearing my little self-promotional speech, as it were. These are the other modern versions of traditional folders from Mike Latham and some of his Italian counterparts. These, of course, are the two round heads. This one's the original one. This one will be in an upcoming video. This is the clip point round head in Bacote that I got recently. Anyways, sorry to keep rambling. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.